What are we gonna do now, Yogi?
Hey, boo boo. First, we're gonna get ourselves a picnic basket full of goodies. Then, we're gonna watch our favorite show. Hey, I'm talking here with Steve Rizzo and Eric Bam, the Bam Man.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, Yogi.
It certainly does. That's because I'm smarter than the average bear.
Hey, Steve Rizzo here, and welcome to Hey, I'm Talking Here.
Well, everybody's gonna have a good time.
Yes, this is a show about empowerment, and it's an entertaining show about empowerment, a show that will take you to a better place personally and professionally. I'm excited about today's show because we have a wonderful topic. And by the way, folks, this show is brought to you by Conversations with Bob. That's for those of you who have been listening. That's the new book that is out. It's on Amazon. It's getting great reviews. And for those of you who want to know who Bob is the part of you that brings out the best in you when times get really tough. And a lot of people call this part of themselves their higher self, their true self. Some people call it the light or the force within. A lot of people call it the universe. Most people call this part, though, God. But in the book, God is called Bob. Why Bob? Well, you're going to have to read the book to find out. Anyway, the book is for sale. It is getting wonderful reviews, but enough about that. What I want to do now is bring on my team, in which I couldn't do this show without. First of all, we have my producer, my director, and my tech guy, Bruce. Bruce the man. Where are you? Oh, yeah, Bruce is on, you're on site right now. Where are you?
I'm in a place called Ravinia, and literally 5 seconds ago, this band on a side stage decided to start playing. So I'm going to be on mute most of this show. But this place called Ravinia is about 25 miles north of the city of Chicago. It's probably the oldest music festival around. And tonight we're going to see Steve Miller. In the past, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga have performed here,
That's cool.
and a number of big artists, as well as the CSO, Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, Bruce, do me a favor. Tell those people to shut up. There's a show going on.
I've already walked over to the right.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm glad you're able to do the show, even though you're on site doing something else. That's cool. I appreciate it. Let's bring up Eric, the Bam Man. Eric, what's that?
The magic of the technology.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, that's something I'm not good in, and you know that. Is Eric available, or is he on vacation? He's reading my book.
Oh, hey, I was actually reading one of Bob's high points to remember. An attitude of gratitude is a discipline that simply makes you feel good. Feeling good is the fuel that drives motivation and inspiration. I love that. Being truly motivated and feeling inspired are sure signs that you are connected to my energy field, which is God, which is Bob, which is the higher, which is the universe, which is the divine, right?
You got it. You nailed it. How much money do I have to give you for that one? That was cool.
$1.
Oh, you got it.
How are you? How are things?
Actually, things are good. Things are very good. Things are cranking. Book sales are good. Business is good. A whole lot of new stuff is happening, transpiring. You know, I was talking to you about it earlier in the week.
Yep.
And, you know, when change takes place, sometimes it hits you all at once.
Yeah.
And which in part is great about our topic today, the hero's journey. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about this last week. And for those of you who don't know what the hero's journey is, let me start off with a question. What does Harry Potter, Frodo from Lord of the Rings, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, and Indiana Jones have in common? Well, what?
They all have the hero story. They all follow that circle of life to get from here to there.
Exactly. Right? They all experience the hero's journey.
Yeah.
And I guess the best definition that I could give about what the hero's journey is, because I know a lot of people heard about the hero's journey. Some people haven't, but it was created, the phrase was created by Joseph Campbell, who has books on it, incredible books. He has courses on it. And you've got to delve into this. If you want to find out about who you are and how powerful you are, you have to read this stuff. And
Yeah.
this is what Joseph Campbell says about the hero's journey, Eric. He says the hero's journey is a common story template that involves a hero who goes on an adventure, either by choice or by circumstances beyond his control, learns life's lessons, wins a victory with newfound knowledge, and then returns home transformed.
Yeah.
But I want to explain something to people. This home thing doesn't necessarily mean a building or a house. He's talking about returning home to your natural state, what we're born with.
Right.
That positive, optimistic part of us, which some people do call the light, the force, the God part of us. And that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And the reason why we get involved in stories like The Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones and all the crap that they go through is that we relate to it in the way that it exemplifies the battles that we all go through in everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, the way some of us have to face our own demons, our monsters, our fears, all those negative emotions when life is really putting the whammy on you from left and right. And the reason why I thought it was great to do the show today is that I believe no matter what it is that you're going through, everyone has an opportunity to become the hero.
Yeah.
And it may not be easy, and it may mean that, you know, you still may be experiencing tough times, but that doesn't mean that you give up. You don't have to give up. There is a part of us that can go through no matter what life throws at us and become empowered as a result. And I think that's the key.
Yeah.
You know, there are people, I'm not making light of it, there are people that have been in car accidents and are paralyzed from they can't move their legs. But there are some people that have thrived, not even survived, thrived as a result, because they ask themselves empowering questions. All right, I didn't expect this to happen to me, but who can I go to that can help me? Where can I go to turn this around? What lessons is life trying to teach me here? And I know there's something within me that could meet this challenge head on. I know my life isn't what it was supposed to be, but I can make a difference somehow, some way. And by going through your life with that mindset, you start realizing that you're becoming empowered. And that empowerment is the part of you that reconnects you to that part that Joseph Campbell calls home. Yeah. And it's an incredible, exhilarating feeling. I know you've gone through stuff in your life. Mm-hmm. I recently, in the past couple of years, have gone through a tremendous amount of stuff. There are times when I wanted to quit. There are times when I did quit and I gave up. I said, I can't do this. Emotionally distraught. But then there was a point where I picked myself up, and that's when I moved to California. It was after my 34-year marriage, and I had to face my demons and the monsters that were bringing me down, and I confronted my fears. And as a result, the transformation was taking place. This took years, but it happened, and I became empowered. And I was able to realize that I still have a whole life ahead of me. And there were so many things to look forward to and so many things to be grateful for. And that's how I started picking myself up. Yeah. And that's where I am right now.
Yeah. You know, we've got a couple people jumping on real quick. We've got Ray, Brian saying, what's up? We've got Marion saying hi.
That's Roy DiMartino.
Please like and share this, please, for you three that have already commented. And you know, we love comments, obviously. The thing for me about the hero's journey that I think I embrace the most about it is you made the comment about you get back, right? You get back to home, or you get back to normal. But the thing about that always intrigues me about the hero's journey is this: when you get back home, you've outgrown it.
Yeah.
Because you learn through that whole process, and you should have outgrown. If this is where you started and you came all the way back, you're going to get back there and be like, wow, like I am light years ahead of this. And that for me is always intriguing about things like, you know, I mentioned, I won't say his name. I mentioned someone who called me and said they're going through a divorce. And I said, okay, we talked about this earlier. Okay. Much like the hero's journey, take the emotional side out of it. And what are the steps that I have to do today to move forward and move the ball down the field? And what does that look like? And how do I overcome? And how do I get past it? And is it going to be easy? No, it's never going to be easy. But when you get all the way back to home, whatever that is, you've outgrown where you were when you started the race. Yep. And I think that to me is a lot of life, man. I always, as I've gotten older, you just realize, like, you know, if something's not good, if I've got a problem, let's go chase that thing down, because if I chase it down and I get after it, I know I'm going to outgrow it at the end. I'm going to be past it.
Yeah. And it's that empowerment that enables you to outgrow it.
Yeah.
And it takes you to a whole new level. And like I said, yes, exactly, Roy, full circle. It's a full circle thing. And as a matter of fact, I can honestly say that my greatest challenges have become my greatest blessings, because I did learn from them.
Ted's on. Hey, guys, today's his anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and your wife, but I guess she's out right now, probably picking up some sexy lingerie or something. Who knows? So don't discount that. Bobby's on. I don't know who Facebook user Bobby is, but Bobby is here. I think that for me, thinking about the hero's journey, I think a lot of times it starts with a crisis or a call to action, right? And it's us as a human being accepting that challenge.
Yeah.
Or just cowering down to it and say, look, I'm out, right? If you're out, you're out. But if you accept it and you accept the challenge, it starts the process, and you better get your ass to work and figure it out. And that's that for me. Those are the two things for me that I love, because I talk about action all the time. You got to take action. You got to take action. I love action, but I love the finale of it where I've outgrown where I was.
But
that's the win.
Yes, and it's the action that brings excitement to it. And what I like about this whole concept about the hero's journey is that anyone could be a hero. There are a lot of people that are having challenges raising their kids. But if you spend the time, if you go through the adversity, if you go through maybe the disability that your son or daughter has, and you work with them, you might not feel it right away, but in time, you're going to look back and you go, wow, look what I did.
Yeah.
I had the courage to face this head on. Even though at first I thought I was cursed. Why me? Because that's the one thing that everybody says when life keeps throwing crap at them. Why me? Well, you know what? All the times that I said, why me? And it's like Roy just said in that saying, full circle. I look back now and I just say, well, if this shit didn't happen to me and this crap didn't happen to me, I never would have became the speaker that I am, the writer that I am. I would never be able to help people to catapult their lives from one level to the next if I didn't experience it first. Right. But you have to go through it. You can't run from it. And that's what separates the hero, the victor, instead of becoming the victim. Yeah. You face it. You might not like it, but at some point, and it takes time, if you meet it head on and you do the best that you can, and maybe even seek help, it does something to you. It's an incredibly empowering feeling.
That's for me. The thing you just said that struck a tone with me in a good way was seeking help. And I'm in sales, right? Been in sales my whole life. And early on in sales, I felt like you have the sales cycle, right? It starts and you hopefully get the transaction, and then but you start that sales cycle. When I was young, like I had to do it all myself. But then you get older and you realize, well, that person's got this strength and that person's got this strength, and you realize like I could probably do it all myself, but why not accept help from people that are good at what they do to help me move the ball down? I think when we're younger, we look at accepting help as a weakness. Yeah. And it's such a strength as you get older. You realize, I'll say this. One of the funniest things to me, I have a 10-year-old, right? And we look at them, we look at our kids and we go, why did you not get straight A's? But I'm not good at everything. I mean, I just asked Bruce before we went online, how do you spell bored? Is it B-O-R-E-D or B-O-A-R-D, right? Like, I don't even know, right? And so there are things that we are good at, we're not good at, but we expect our kids to get straight A's sometimes, be good at everything, but that's just not reality. And we look at asking people for help as a weakness, and it's not.
And it's not. Well, if you think about it, look at the movies that I just used as examples. Harry Potter. I mean, he got help from his two, from Hermione and
never seen Harry Potter.
Oh, you never did? Well, then you're an idiot. Okay. So Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Frodo.
Yes.
Right? Now tell me he didn't get help from people. They all got help. Indiana Jones. All these heroes got help somewhere, somehow from other people. And that proves that we're all connected. And that too is part of the hero journey. Right. And it is a matter of choices. And we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. Your whole life is based on the choices that you make. Yeah. You can become the victor or the victim. And I know some people right now are saying, well, you don't know what I'm going through. And you're right, I don't. But I have seen tons of people That's a great book.
What does Bob say about the hero's journey?
Bob says you have the potential to be your own hero. That's what Bob says about the hero journey to Bernie.
Yeah.
He goes, you've had many opportunities to become a hero in your life. He goes, but you chose to become the victim because you always said, why me? Why me? Instead of trying to tackle it and become empowered from your challenges, you were cursing them. And it wasn't until you late. Well, I'm not going to give the book away, but it's, as a matter of fact, what I would like to do right now, this is another aspect of the hero's journey. Let's bring up the word according to Bob. This is another aspect of how important it is to experience the journey that you're on. Okay, hit it, Bruce.
Roll that beautiful beat.
How many of you think that achieving the goal is the most important attribute to success? Well, if you do, I challenge you to think again. In my view, the adventure towards any goal is what truly brings value to it. Why? Because the path towards the goal is where your life unfolds, and happiness is truly meaningful. When you're in the process of working to achieve something, anything at all, you're experiencing who you are and what you're made of. Your character is being tested and molded. When you become aware of the importance of every single step in the process, you're not only sending a message to yourself, but to the entire universe, that you're not only here, but you're qualified and you're ready to overcome obstacles along the way. All of which, by the way, are essential ingredients for happiness and crucial strategies for success. Of course, you should go for the goal, whatever it may be, and I sincerely hope that you achieve it. But I also hope, for your sake, and for the sake of everyone that's involved in your life, that you savor every moment and choose to enjoy the process. Look at it this way. There's a unique bond between the goal and the adventure towards it. Remember the Indiana Jones movies, one of George Lucas's greatest creations? Well, Indiana has to encounter all kinds of adversity on his way to acquiring whatever crazy artifact he's looking for, right? So try to imagine Indiana right now just walking down the street at the beginning of the movie, and he just happens to find the idol in an alley. That's it. The movie's over. That wouldn't be very satisfying, would it? I mean, think about it. Without a couple of wisecracks and whip cracks when he's faced with difficulty, the character would be boring, to say the least. Here's my point. The entire value of the movie relies on how he handles the adventure and the adversity he's confronted with. And it's the same thing with your life. Whatever your goals may be, make them happen. Just understand that the prestige of being a member of an elite group, while certainly is something to be proud of, it's not the end result. Your happiness is, right? What truly gives your achievement meaning is the overtime that you put in, your commitment to excellence, the sacrifices you made, the fear you had to face, the rejections that you had to endure, and whether you were able to enjoy yourself and appreciate the life lessons you learned along the way. Achievement does not make the person. In my view, the goal is just a gift. It's how you lived and what you've done to achieve the goal that brings value to it. It's the people you meet along the way. When you choose to adhere to this creed, then you will have no problem appreciating and enjoying what you have, because you will be fully aware of how you earned it. Remember, the American dream is not entirely about crossing the finish line first and accepting your place at the podium. There's a little part about the pursuit as well. That's the word according to Bob.
Touchdown.
You know, I saw something, listening to the word according to Bob made me think about something I saw yesterday on Facebook. And it said, every high school athlete thinks the goal of playing high school sports is to get a college scholarship. And it's actually not. It's the journey, and it's everything you learn through the process. And it's, you know, it's learning to be a teammate. It's learning, you know, to be on time. It's learning to take coaching. It's not about an athletic scholarship. You know, I mean,
Yep.
it's a bonus, but it's about all that. It's about trust and teamwork and all that stuff that you learn through the process. And that for me is another thing about the journey that is we get so busy, so focused on I've got to get the goal. I've got to get there. I've got to kill the demons and I've got to find the artifact or whatever it is, that we just forget to enjoy the process.
Exactly.
Sometimes the end result's not near as damn good as
it's not. It's not, and it's not just it's so well said, and it's not just the enjoyment. It's appreciate that the challenges you had to endure is what makes you the person that you are. Yeah. And you've got to keep reminding yourself of that. You know, when I left stand up after 20 some odd years, it was at the pinnacle of my career. I had a lot of fear of transitioning from stand-up comedy to become a speaker, and I knew nothing about it. Yeah. And that was a pretty scary thing for me. So to make a long story short, when I was a seasoned speaker and I became a member of the Speaker Hall of Fame, and I received my trophy thing in my honor, thousands of people in the audience, thousands. And they bring me up on stage. I'm getting a standing ovation, but that's not what I was experiencing.
Right.
That whole day when I knew I was going to get this honor bestowed upon me, I was thinking about what I went through to get it, the fear that I had to overcome, you know. And there I am looking at all my opening acts who now have sitcoms and movie deals, and I'm going, whoa, whoa. And I still managed to persevere and follow my heart's desire. So when I went up on that platform in front of thousands of people and my family in the background looking, I held on to this thing. And that was an emotional moment for me. And it took me a couple of seconds before I could even give my acceptance speech. But it was that. It wasn't the standing ovation, although that was a trip. It was what I went through to get that idol, whatever it was that they gave me.
Yeah. I'm a Patriots fan. There was a season 6-7 years ago, they won the Super Bowl, and I'm watching this end of the year recap thing, right? And there's a moment during the regular season where Bill Belichick's in with the defensive team, and he stops the film and he said, "Guys, this is why we didn't win this game." And he points out two plays during one series where a linebacker or whatever made a sack, and they didn't all celebrate the sack. And he's like, "Guys, we got to celebrate the wins along the way. We celebrate these little wins. We have more fun. The more fun we have, the more we're going to win." And it's always stuck with me because I'm like, man, that's just me. That's me in general, you know. By the way, there's a comment over here. It says Facebook.
Let's bring the comments on, Bruce.
And it says, "Good stuff, Steve. Go." Here it is. I don't know who this is. "Go through it. And yes, easier said than done, but we have to see it as training." And I love that. God's way of preparing us for bigger, better, and greater, in training us to see the greatness He put in.
That's well said, man.
Yeah. How's it going, gents? God bless you. Okay, so that's Eric Flournoy is on. So that's who that is. And then Ted Legal's back on. Very good point. Good, Scott. Good evening, everyone. There we go, Marion. I haven't read or seen either myself. Thanks. See, I've seen Lord of the Rings, but you know, I think part of that journey, we've got to celebrate along the way. We've got to celebrate the little things, because if we get so focused on the big things at the end, we just won't enjoy the day. We won't enjoy.
You're putting your happiness on hold. Exactly.
Yep. One of the things I told you about this today when we talked earlier was, I've said on the show probably way too many times about how we can sit on our couch and paralyze ourselves, right? We've got a problem. Here's the opportunity to take the hero's journey. And so last Friday, long story short, last Friday, I go out for lunch and I get really sick, right? Really sick Friday night, throwing up, which is why I'm drinking Sprite still, throwing up, sick all day Saturday, sick all day Sunday. Monday morning, call the doctor. He can't get me until freaking Tuesday at 11, right? And I sat home Tuesday. I work from home, so I was home Tuesday. Man, I'm on WebMD. I'm pretty sure I've got pancreatic cancer. I've got Crohn's disease. I may have my period. I'm not even sure what all I'm going through, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to die by Friday. You know, and I literally did exactly what I talk about in here. I did the opposite. Instead of taking some action, I should, you know what I did? I made an appointment with the doctor for 11 o'clock Tuesday. I got up finally Tuesday morning, so I've had enough. I went straight to the emergency room, and that was taking action. I should have done it on Monday and just taken the journey upon myself. And by the way, nothing's wrong. I had extreme food poisoning per the doctor. Like, you have legit food poisoning. And but there was an opportunity for me to take a hero's journey for myself because I didn't feel good. And I just paralyzed myself to my own freaking couch. And I talk about that all the time. And I did it to myself. And I knew I was doing it. And it was hard to get out of that.
And we do that on our journey towards any goal that we want to achieve. We have a tendency of that one thought goes through, you blow it out of proportion, and then you start saying, well, I knew this was going to happen and this is going to be worse than what I thought it was. Before you know it, you're creating a reality that doesn't have to be true, but if you believe that it is, it's all that matters in your world. Could we see some more of the comments?
Yeah, there's a great one here from Ray. Day by day is a new dream, which is exactly what we were just talking about. There is no failure, only resetting your focus onto new dreams. I pinch myself that a 70-year-old and I'm doing what I did at 26. Good for you. Everything in between brought me back to where I started, and it seems like the rest is a blur. But here I am, happy, healthy, and living the dream, baby. Boom!
There you go, Roy. And Roy's gone through some intense stuff himself. I went to high school with Roy. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. Roy,
hey, Lisa, I'll be on your show tomorrow. So looking forward to it.
So Roy went to high school with you? That's when you graduated in the 9th grade?
Yeah. I went to high school with Roy DiMartino. Great musician. Brilliant musician, very popular in school he was, and we've remained friends for that long. He lives in Florida now, and he's
who got more chicks, you or him?
He's got well, I did, but we don't want to talk about it.
Hey, speaking of musicians, did you have a random question, but did you ever meet Tony Bennett?
Yes, I did.
Really?
You're going to bring up that story now? Are you serious?
Yeah, I love. It's a good story. Tell us about Tony.
What does that have to do with the hero's journey?
Because you got up on stage and blew it out, and you mic dropped on him and said, "Follow that."
Okay, all right. You're insane. Okay, we were talking before the show. All right. Hey, Phil, how are you?
Hey, Philly.
We were talking before about 20 years ago when I was performing, when I was doing stand-up. Maybe it was 25 years ago. I was performing at the Riviera in Vegas, and I didn't know it, but Tony Bennett was in the audience, and he came backstage and gave me a big hug and started saying some wonderful things about me, and you made me laugh. I needed to laugh. Thank you so much. And he invited me to his show where he was performing the next night. I just so happened to have off, so I went to see him. I'm sitting in he gave me really great seats, and in the middle of his set, he said, "Ladies and gentlemen," he goes, "we have a really funny guy in the audience today. I saw him at the club at the Riviera. His name is Steve Rizzo, and he made me laugh, and I needed to laugh. And he's hysterical." And I'm thinking, so I stand up and I'm waving to everybody. He goes, "Steve, why don't you come up here and do 10 minutes?" And I went, "Holy shit." So I did. I went up, I did 10 minutes, and I killed. And I looked at him, I said, "Follow that." And I walked off.
But the reason why I brought it up, and I know you were like, "What the hell?" Right? Is because I think even throughout our day, there's series of just these little heroes journeys, right? You could have said, no, I'm not, but you got up there and you made the decision. You got up there and you just owned it.
Yeah.
That hero's journey all happened right here in your head, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's all based on choices. You can't let fear consume you. Fear is the culprit. You can call fear the devil. You can call it the big mouth inside your head. You can call it your ego. It's there. The devil's pretty appropriate because if you listen to it, there will be hell to pay. And all those things, all those labels that I just gave it, they just, they appear real to you, very real. And the more your thought process goes in that realm, the more you're going to solidify your reality, which may not even be true. But as I said, if you believe that it's true, that's all that matters in your world.
Yeah. I think fear is uncontrolled excitement. I think we're excited. We just don't know what to do with it. This is a random one, right? This isn't my random question of the day, but along the lines of Tony Bennett, did you ever meet Don Rickles?
You're kidding me, aren't you, with these questions?
No, I love Don Rickles. I watched some Don. Did you ever meet Don? Did you roll with Don Rickles? Like, I'm curious.
No, I never met Don Rickles.
Really? That's not my random Steve question of the day, by the way. So
okay, I appreciate that.
That's still coming. But see, everybody loves the cool story with Tony Bennett. Everybody's like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. See, you're welcome. Here's my random Steve question of the day.
I thought you just gave me one.
No, that wasn't it. That was my
what,
like, what side of the bed do you sleep on?
Left.
And so here's maybe a follow up to that. I'm curious, and maybe people that watching will comment. If you're married, I'm curious what side of the bed you sleep on. And then, like, I'm divorced, you're divorced. Do you sleep on the same side of the bed that you did when you were married? I don't.
Yeah.
Do you really? Okay. Okay. So I'd be curious for anybody that's watching. What side?
Are there any other insignificant questions you want to ask?
No, that's my random Steve Rizzo question of the day that you always get. Much like mayonnaise on a grilled cheese sandwich that just blew your mind. You're like, whatever, you friggin' dumbass. Jeez. Oh man.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. Thank you all for your comments. By the way, I do appreciate it. Roy, it's so good to hear from you. Lisa's so looking forward to tomorrow doing your show. And as you say, woohoo! And it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And please share your comments with everyone. And just remember, the hero's journey is a choice. It doesn't matter what life is throwing at you. It's what you do about it. It's about going in there and saying, my life may not be what it was or what I thought it was going to be, but I can still go on. And I have so much more to be grateful for. It's right in front of you. You just have to learn how to shift your focus and way of thinking to focus on that stuff rather than allowing life to control you.
By the way, Marion's single and sleeps on the left. So just so you know, there you go.
Yeah, single on the left.
Single on the left. So, and your buddy Roy said he'll talk to you soon. So Roy was a lady killer back in school, huh?
Big time.
Yeah. That's cool. He doesn't look like it now, but whatever. That's it's a different story.
And he went on a couple of journeys himself. He had some challenges. He had some stuff that he had to deal with in life, and he dealt with it. I mean, he really did. Roy's the kind of guy that can do anything. It's amazing how he's one of those people. If this doesn't work, I'll do this, and if that doesn't work, you know what? I think I'll try this. He always followed his heart. Always.
Yeah. Some of the things that I just wrote down this week, just to read them. Talking about the hero's journey this week was is the call to action, right? You've got to accept it, right?
Yeah.
This one, I wrote this down because I thought being a hero is hard work. Being the hero of your own story sometimes is really freaking hard work. And I think sometimes we can sit here sometimes and we can talk and we can say this or that or whatever, and maybe it sounds easy. Right. And it's not easy. This past week for me has not been easy. Right. And you've got stuff going on in your life. It's not easy. Yeah. But you have to take action. You have to realize it's not easy. And you have to approach your fears.
Yeah. I talk to them. I talk to my fears.
There you go.
And I even get to the point sometimes I go, that's it. You've had enough. You said what you had to say today. You're not going to say anything else anymore. And speaking about Roy, he just talked about what he went through. He had throat cancer and a triple bypass.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that my next point is your crisis doesn't always equal death.
No.
Right? And sometimes at work, we think there's a crisis and we think we're going to get fired over everything. Right. I mean, now Roy's issue, throat cancer, triple bypass, that's easy stuff, right? Like that crisis could equal death at sometimes, but crisis doesn't always equal death. And the last thing that I wrote that I already said, but when you return to your old world, you will find that you've outgrown it. And Roy would probably agree with nothing scares me.
Yeah.
So Roy gets through all that and realizes now nothing scares him. I've been through all this. You know who else is not scared?
Who? Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah,
he never is. He never.
Nothing
and that's another thing when you're overcoming adversity is you have such a profound appreciation for the little things in life, the simple things. Like sitting down watching a great movie, eating popcorn, or your favorite glass of wine, or whatever it may be. And sometimes that stuff gets lost when we're caught up in the rat race of life sometimes, and wallowing in our problems instead of using that same energy to find some kind of a solution.
Right. So. Roy's got one last comment. I remember I remember I heard I'd rather burn out than rushed out. You got to keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You got to keep moving.
I'd rather burn out than rush out. You got to keep moving.
That's
Action, man. I keep
journey.
saying it, Steve. Action, 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 action.
Yep.
We have got to, as a society, quit sitting around talking about shit and complaining about shit. And we've got to take action on what we want, man. I just, man, every day is about action for me.
But you got to take action with the right thought process first.
I agree.
Right? You got to have your thoughts together. Think optimistic, positive, know that you're going to have challenges along the way and life might throw something really crappy at you. You know, my meeting with Christopher Reeve still overwhelms me. It's amazing what this man went through. And those of you who don't know Christopher Reeve, he was the first actor to play the role of Superman in the 80s. Paralyzed from the neck down, the only parts of his body that he could move is his eyebrows, his eyes, and his mouth. That was it. And I spent time with him. And it's amazing how he wanted to give up and he wanted his wife to end his life. But after 3 days, when he found out what his condition was like and his 2 boys walked in and Dana, his wife, was next to him, he realized that he had something to live for. And that was the first thing that he was grateful for. And he built from there. And that's the hero's journey.
Right.
And he passed away 5 months after we talked, but that's not what's important. What's important is what we do with our lives in the time that is allotted us. Nobody knows when their life is going to end. You don't know. It can happen anytime.
Yeah.
And what Christopher Reeve accomplished in the last 9 years of his life in that condition falls nothing short of miraculous.
Right.
And he did it all because of that one miraculous day when he realized, when he looked into his son's and his wife's eyes and said, I have something to live for. They still need me. And he built that attitude of gratitude one step at a time, where he was able to do what he never thought he could do in that condition. And that's the perfect example. That is the perfect hero's journey.
Well, you're my Yogi Bear, so I'm Boo Boo. I need you to stick around, big dog. I need you.
Okay, I need you. I'll be here. And I'll be here. Oh, by the way, folks, next week, we're starting our show again next week, next Thursday. When is next Thursday?
Thursday.
It's what? What day?
I don't know. The 30th?
I'm gonna look. Okay, I'll tell you. Next Thursday is the 30th.
30th.
No, the 1st. July 1st.
No, July 1st.
It's
Friday.
the 30th.
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 That's good.
Yeah, it's the 30th. It's the 30th. It's
Okay,
the 30th.
I'll set up now.
I know we're getting ready to wrap up. We've got a few more comments. Let's throw these up there, Bruce, if we can. Marion, by the way, said it's better to burn out than to fade away, which was up there. I love that. Roy throws up another one. Sorry, here. And you have to love what you're doing. Money isn't anything if you don't love what you're doing. I love that. And if you love what you're doing, then money comes with it eventually, just like Steve Rizzo. Correct. Correct. There you go. Action with a positive attitude. Tell you, it just makes a difference in life, doesn't it?
Yep.
Sure makes my life a lot easier. I can tell you that. Christopher Reeve was incredible. And then we got an LOL. Everything that Steve says is funny, so there's no telling what that was a reference to. And Tom had our back. It is the 30th because Friday is the 1st and also happens to be National Perfect Crust Pizza Liner Day.
That's good to know.
Yeah, really you're welcome. You're welcome. That's all I got. I'm tapped out, man.
Oh, thank God. No, I love you, man. I appreciate you do what you do. And this is cool. I want to thank everyone. And remember, the book is on Amazon. You can get it. It is getting wonderful reviews. And I want to thank Roy and Tom and Lisa and everybody, Eric, all of you that were contributing. Marion, love you. And you folks have become really good followers, and we appreciate it. We'd like you to share it. We want to get the message out. And we're going to start again next Thursday, and then it'll be every other Thursday after that. We all have a purpose. We just need, yeah. Thank you, Lisa.
Steve is the best. That is correct. By the way, this makes a great gift. I've sent it to a couple of people. So great gift.
Yeah.
Roy, we loved you, Roy. We want you back on. So.
Yeah, absolutely, Roy. We'd love you to come back on next week.
Yeah.
Next week. You're all wonderful. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Bruce. Love you all. Have fun.
That's kind of